Twitter will now be flagging the tweets of public officials, which it say normally violate the Twitter terms of service and would warrant being taken down, but still provide some public interest or public importance for the public good. They say that they have in the past left up tweets which normally violate the terms of service because the public has some right to see it, and now they're coming up with a process in order to make that official and to give people a reason so that it doesn't just seem arbitrary and that it doesn't just seem like it's out of the blue. Who knows what's going on? Now, what will happen is that if a tweet from a public official violates the terms of service, you'll see a little flag, a little screen that you'll have to click through, very similar to what you see when other sensitive content is published, something, gory or along those lines. It'll just say this tweet violates the terms of service, etc. And then you have to click, yes, I want to see it. And then you can see it. They say that the reason that they're doing this is because when a public official posts some information like this or something that needs to be seen by the public, then they don't want to take it down. They don't want to rob the public of that opportunity. Number one, if they take it down, it may remove the context of the tweet. People may not understand what's going on in a conversation or on a certain topic. But also, they want to give the public the opportunity to, quote, hold their public official accountable. Now, all of this sounds pretty good, and the requirements for it are pretty straightforward. Number one, you have to be a public official or somebody representing a public official or somebody who is in the running to become a public official. The second rule is that you must have over 100,000 followers on Twitter, and number three, you must be verified. Now, on the surface, this doesn't sound all that bad, but for those of us who have experienced Twitter's arbitrary rule enforcement, or for those of us who have seen what's happened in the past with these similar policies, for example, when BuzzFeed journalists were getting laid off, a lot of conservatives were telling them, hashtag learn to code, because it was those same journalists who were telling miners and factory workers in middle America to learn to code in order to, get another job after their job became obsolete. People who are saying learn to code to journalists, on the other hand, got banned. But when left-wing journalists or left-wing figures or politicians would say things about punching Nazis or punching right-wingers or harming the Covington Catholic school kids, they were allowed to post that without any repercussions, or no reprimand from Twitter, no tweet being deleted, no ban, nothing. So we've seen that Twitter's rule enforcement is arbitrary. If we knew that that wasn't the case, if we'd experienced it before and Twitter had a very consistent rule enforcement policy, then maybe we wouldn't feel so bad about it. We also know that there's no way that we can trust the board or the person behind the censor on these sites whenever something gets reported. We know that there's no way that we can trust them in order to enforce this faithfully if this is just something that violates the rules. So again, we don't know how to play by the rules. There's no way to play by the rules because they're written in such a way that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, there's really no way that you can fully comply. There's something that they can get you on anyways. Now, this might not be so bad if it were just this little screen, this little flag that you have to click through. If it were just something you have to click, yes, I consent to see this, that might not be so bad. But they say that the tweets which are flagged in this manner will not be, quote, algorithmically elevated. And that means that, normally when a tweet is getting a lot of attention, or if it's being talked about a lot, if it's receiving a lot of comments and replies, retweets and likes, normally this tweet will be pushed to more people because it's a point of interest. It keeps people interested about it, and it's in Twitter's best interest to do that. They want to keep people on their platform, but it's also something that's interesting, so other people are going to want to talk about it. These tweets, which are flagged in this way, will not experience that boost. They cannot trend. They cannot be seen. If you, on your timeline, if you have it set to show you the top tweets, it won't be seen there. It won't be seen in the discovery page. It won't be pushed to you if you have it set to have push notifications for a certain person, or if it won't show up in your recommended feed. There's no way that anybody will be seeing this unless you actively search for it. And then a problem becomes if you have safe search turned on, then if you search for this tweet or this person, that tweet will not show up there. So these tweets and the people who are making them are being suppressed under this new, their engagement is being suppressed and throttled. They won't be able to get the same engagement. And again, this wouldn't be a problem if we knew what the rules were and how not to violate them, but these can be decided arbitrarily. This would negatively affect the president and his outreach. So again, there's no way to know who is following the rules and who isn't, and who is simply being targeted by the left-wing people at Twitter, the people who have to, manually review content. We don't know. We do know, for example, that Twitter has done these things in the past where they've targeted conservatives. We know that Google was recently exposed by Project Veritas and James O'Keefe that they're actively targeting people who are posting ideas and viewpoints which Google does not agree with. So we know that this stuff is happening, and they try to frame it as though it isn't. It's very important that the president knows about this, that the president hears about this. He says that these things are under review at the moment, that they're keeping a close eye on it. We need all of us to go call our congressman, call the White House, let them know that we're being unfairly targeted and that we need government help. There's no reason, we can't go start our own Twitter. We can't go start our own Facebook or our own YouTube. It's too big. These monopolies need to be broken up, or some kind of fair regulation needs to be placed on them. We here at InfoWars are going to continue to fight for that. We're going to try to get this in front of the president as much as possible. We're making videos like this, articles, reports, in order to get it in front of the eyes of more people so we can spread the word and so that the president sees it and does something. We need something to be done. If you would like to support our part in that fight, you can do so by sharing the links to videos like the one that you're watching right now. My name is Jake Lloyd, reporting for NewsWars.com.